The last time you achieved something big, the feeling probably wasn't joy. It was relief. There's a hidden operating system running in your brain that ensures your biggest wins feel less like a victory and more like a crisis averted for one more day. By the end of this, you'll understand the architecture of that program, and you'll see how it's turning your pursuit of happiness into a game you were designed to lose. Imagine two people living on the same street. They live in identical houses, drive similar cars, and earn roughly the same income. Both are perfectly comfortable. Then one morning, construction trucks arrive next door. Your neighbor is building an extension, adding a second story. Nothing about your own house has changed. It's still warm, safe, and comfortable. Yet suddenly, it feels smaller. A quiet, gnawing dissatisfaction begins to settle in. That feeling, that subtle poison, is status anxiety. It's the constant, humming awareness of our position relative to others. Our brains are wired for this. For hundreds of thousands of years, our survival depended on our standing within a small tribe. Being valued meant access to resources, protection, and mates. Being cast out was a death sentence. Your brain still carries that ancient hardware. It continuously scans your environment, asking one question over and over: where do I fit in? The problem is, your modern environment gives it a constant, overwhelming, and impossible answer. And that drive, once a tool for survival, has become a driver of quiet misery. This ancient drive is relentless, but the modern world added a toxic new ingredient that makes it inescapable. That ingredient is the idea of meritocracy. For most of human history, your social position was fixed. If you were born a peasant, you died a peasant. If you were born a lord, you died a lord. There was massive inequality, but there was little anxiety about social climbing, because there was no ladder to climb. Your station in life was seen as an act of God or fate. It said nothing about your intrinsic worth as a person. Then came the revolution. The idea took hold that anyone from any background could achieve greatness through talent and hard work. Society should be a meritocracy. Your success should be earned. This is a beautiful and inspiring promise. It's the engine of progress, but it has a dark underbelly that nobody talks about. If success can be earned, then failure is deserved. In this new world, your position on the social ladder becomes a direct reflection of your inner qualities. If you are successful, it is because you are smart, disciplined, and hardworking. Your success is a verdict on your character. And if you are struggling, the reverse must also be true. Low status is now evidence of being lazy, foolish, or simply unworthy. It morphs from a condition of your bank account into a judgment on your soul. This is the source of the shame. It's one thing to be poor, it's another thing entirely to feel that you deserve it. This belief system does more than just poison our own self-perception. It fundamentally changes the way we interact with every other human being we meet. It gives rise to a particular social toxin. We call it snobbery. And you're a participant even if you hate it. Snobbery is the habit of using one small part of a person to issue a final verdict on their whole worth. When you meet someone at a party, what's one of the first questions you ask? So, what do you do? We use the answer to instantly slot them into a mental hierarchy. A surgeon, a software engineer, a barista, a sanitation worker. Each title comes with a prepackaged set of assumptions about their intelligence, their value, their entire being. It's a cognitive shortcut, a way to navigate a complex social world. But it reduces living, breathing, complex human beings to a single data point. The real damage occurs when we turn this mechanism inward. We allow our own job title, our zip code, our degree, or the brand of our clothes to define our worth. Your self-worth becomes a publicly traded company, and you're checking the stock price every 5 minutes on the ticker of other people's opinions. You scroll through a former classmate's LinkedIn profile and feel that familiar sting. The promotion, the fancy title at the impressive company. A part of your brain logs it as a loss. Your stock just went down. This system of constant judgment is exhausting and dehumanizing. Why are we all so complicit in maintaining it? What deep primal hunger does this painful game promise to feed? The desperate, all-consuming pursuit of status is a misdirected search for love. A baby requires the full, unconditional attention of its caregivers to survive. Its entire world is organized around getting and keeping that loving gaze. As adults, that fundamental need for validation remains. We still crave the feeling of being seen, of mattering, of being held in high regard by the world around us. But the world is a cold, indifferent parent. It does not love us unconditionally. So we find a substitute. We seek respect. High status, whether through wealth, power, fame, or achievement, is a powerful tool for commanding the world's attention. It forces people to listen when you speak. It makes your time valuable. It surrounds you with the warmth of deference and admiration. It's the closest thing our society offers to unconditional love on a mass scale. When we chase the bigger house, the faster car, or the more prestigious job title, we tell ourselves we are pursuing material things. But what we truly crave is the positive regard we believe those things will buy us from others. We're all just hungry children, dressed in adult clothes, trying to earn the world's affection. This explains the why of the chase, but it doesn't explain the crushing intensity of the anxiety you feel right now, in this century. The reason it feels so much worse today than it did for your grandparents has everything to do with who you believe you're standing next to. Sociologists have a term for this: your reference group. That's the set of people you compare yourself to when evaluating your own success and worth. For almost all of human history, your reference group was tiny. It was your village, your immediate community. You compared yourself to the handful of people you saw every day. You might be the best hunter in a tribe of 150. You might be the most respected baker in a town of 500. That provided a stable, achievable sense of identity and status. You knew where you stood. Now, consider your reference group today. It's the entire planet. Social media, television, and the internet have demolished the walls of your village. You are no longer comparing your life to your neighbors. You are comparing your own messy, complicated, behind-the-scenes reality to the perfectly curated highlight reels of 7 billion people. You see the most successful entrepreneurs, the most brilliant artists, the most beautiful people, and the most adventurous travelers all collapsed into a single, endlessly scrolling feed on a device in your pocket. This creates an impossibly high and utterly fictional standard of what a normal life should look like. Your ancient brain hardware can't tell the difference. It processes these digital ghosts as real members of your immediate tribe. It sees their triumphs as your failures. It interprets their polished perfection as evidence of your own catastrophic inadequacy. This is the silent engine of modern anxiety, a constant, low-grade awareness that you are falling behind an imaginary peer group that is always winning, always celebrating, always living a better life. It is a game rigged for your unhappiness, and you are dealt a new losing hand every single time you unlock your phone. Some might argue this entire line of thinking is an excuse for mediocrity. They'll say that ambition is a virtue, and the drive to compete is what builds civilizations. And they have a point. Ambition to master a skill, to build something useful, or to solve a difficult problem is a powerful positive force. The danger arises when that ambition is disconnected from any internal value system. When the goal shifts from doing good work to simply being seen as successful, the original drive to create is hijacked by the need to win. You're left in a global stadium with your own performance displayed on a giant screen for everyone to judge, and the pressure is crushing. So how do you walk out of the stadium? You can't win the status game that society sets up for you. Winning is just buying yourself a slightly nicer seat in the same anxious stadium. The only way out is to stop playing. You have to consciously and deliberately choose a different game. This starts with auditing your inputs. Unfollow the accounts that trigger that hollow feeling of comparison. Mute the noise that makes you feel small. You must shrink your reference group back down to a human scale. Choose a handful of people whose values you genuinely admire, people who are playing a game you actually want to play, and make them your new benchmark. Then, you must define your own terms for success. Write them down. What does a good life actually mean to you, stripped of the expectations of your parents, your friends, and your Instagram feed? Is it creativity? Is it intellectual curiosity? Is it deep relationships? Is it service to a community? Choose your own scoreboard. Once you know what you are optimizing for, the opinions of people playing a different game become irrelevant noise. Their points don't count in your game. Status is not a ladder you climb. That's the wrong metaphor. It's a room you're in. Look around the room you're in right now. Who else is in there? What are the rules on the wall? Who is keeping score? And what are they scoring? If you feel anxious and small in that room, there is a door. You can walk out and find a different room, a room with different people and different rules that align with your own definition of a life well lived. The most terrifying and liberating realization is that the door isn't locked. It's been open this entire time. You can walk out whenever you choose. The cage has a door. You built it, which means you already know the combination.